Welcome to Final Thoughts Podcast, brought to you by CrossfaderLA.com, blending culture and creativity. Creativity.
Oh, welcome back to Vinyl Thoughts. We have a very exciting episode today. We're going to be talking about one of the hottest hip-hop albums to drop this year. I know you were all waiting on it, but before we get into that, we got to make sure we get into our news and everything else that matters. But before I do that, I guess I should introduce our host, make sure everyone knows who's here. We got Mario, a.k.a. Father. We got Jeremiah, the brother.
Yo.
And me, the visionary. And, once again, if you're new here, Vinyl Thoughts, Crossfader LA. So with that being said, let's get into the news. My news story is going to be Drake releasing 100 gigabytes of stuff on the internet, just content. There were 3 songs included, wrapped in that. The 3 songs, we'll get into that later. But it's a bunch of stuff. And a lot of it, I've been told and what I've seen, it's a lot of nothing. For better or for worse, it's just a lot of Drake standing around making music, some unreleased verses, some PDF files of just information, lyrics. There's a video of him recording the hook for Yikes, a Kanye West song. So that caught a lot of people's attention because that obviously shows that Drake was working on one of Kanye's, bigger tracks, and it just goes to show that Drake is giving everybody a helping hand. More so, a lot of people say that this might be Drake trying to defend himself, considering all the terrible allegations that have been thrown at him. They're theorizing that all this footage of him being boring is just kind of like a distraction. Like, hey, I'm not doing all this crazy stuff. I'm just a boring guy in the studio making music and yada yada yada. It's not worth your time to go and look through all the stuff that he dropped unless you're the biggest Drake fan. You'll probably be bored. But I do think that the songs that came out of it are going to be worth taking a listen to. But we'll get into that when we get into our singles. With that being said, that's my news story. Drake dropped a bunch of stuff and no one really cared.
Yeah.
I heard that it was kind of like if you were running for a president, this is the kind of stuff you would drop after a scandal.
Yeah, it is. It is the kind of stuff you drop after a scandal. It's like Drake is just a normal guy, He's in the studio making music. He's focused on his craft. It doesn't make him look bad, but it is one of those things where it's like if Drake is the person who telegraphed this all coming out, obviously he's not going to put anything bad out. He's not going to put out a video clip of him at the party doing anything illegal. Like, that's not happening. He's just going to put out all the boring stuff. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. That's what he did, and I think we're at the beginning. I'm gonna say it. We're at the beginning of Drake's comeback after taking that loss. I think we're at the beginning of Drake, repositioning himself as one of the greatest. He's not taking this L lying down. I think he's ready to come back.
Gee, I hope
Hey,
not.
did you hear what Academic said?
What he said
over the week?
No.
So Academics was like the greatest that's why Drake is the greatest. Because Drake can pivot. If he ain't rapping, he said if he's not rapping, he's singing. If he's not singing, he's chanting. If he's not doing A, he's doing B. He said that's why only thing Kendrick can do is teach you guys how to crip walk, while my GOAT can do like 10 different things.
That's crazy.
I mean, hey, when you're on the payroll, you gotta say what you gotta say. I got that.
You're on the payroll. You know what? That's a good point. I think Academic might be on that payroll. But I'm excited for whenever Drake does like a very serious drop, because he hasn't released anything on his own other than this, which is, I don't know if it really counts, but I'm excited for when Drake does eventually really actually drop another song.
Imagine Drake drops an album and then Kendrick drops his album the same day.
I think the more Kendrick follows Drake around, I don't think it helps him anymore.
Kendrick doesn't follow Drake around. Kendrick dropped Not Like Us, and then that's basically. That's been his whole thing for a while. That's like, this song's great. Fuck Drake. I'm letting the rest speak for itself. It has.
But if he waited until Drake dropped an album to drop an album, I don't think that plays well for a Kendrick as much as you would think it would.
No, bro, that's hilarious.
I don't think it's a good look. I don't know.
No, it's so fucking funny.
I don't know if that's a good look.
No, you're coping, man. Because if he did that, there's no, I don't know. I think if he did that, it would be fucking hilarious. Just It's not salt in the wound. It is. It's that meme where it's like, yeah, get up, come on, get up,
I
before it
don't know.
gets
For
like
me,
pushed again.
from my perspective, if Kendrick waited until Drake dropped an album, I would be like, so Kendrick's just admitting Drake's living in his head rent free all year long, essentially. That's how I'd see it.
I mean,
What's up, brother?
no, I was gonna say I'm assuming Kendrick's gonna drop on A24. That's just what
That's what he said.
my
He was.
Yeah,
That's what he was implying.
that's kind of the Easter egg. Now, if Drake drops on A24, then
Okay.
it goes the other way. So, but my question was to you was because I didn't listen to the songs, or I heard tids and bits about it. Are the songs current? Are they something that he recorded after the battle, or do you think they were recorded pre-battle?
I think he did for me, what it sounds like is that he did what most artists do, which is he took something that was like half finished, and like it may have been half finished a year or two ago, and he finished it up. Because like the
Got it.
sounds of the music, a lot of the songs sound like different, I guess, Drake eras over the last 2 years, nothing too old. But then the lyrics to me sound more updated. Like he has a lyric about Texas, and he just moved to Texas, so I feel like that was probably recorded a little bit later on. But the song does sound like something that might have been on an older album. But I can't know. It sounds topical enough.
Got it. Okay, sounds good. All right. Moving
So
on, Jeremiah, you want to jump into your?
We haven't really talked about the Tenacious D Jack Black story, and recently Jack Black put out a statement about it, saying that Tenacious D will return at some point in the future when the timing's right, when him and his bandmate feel like it's a good time. But I thought it would be a good chance to just quick talk about like what even happened there, which was basically that Jack Black's been a part of this band with his longtime friend Kyle Gass for some decades now. They've been doing this thing, and back a couple of months ago, when Trump was Trump tried to assassinate Trump, which is a wild thing to say, and then had forgotten.
Did you say months ago?
Wasn't it last month?
Dude, it was May. Okay, yeah. It was not months. I think it was like 1 month max. That's all. Like it's just crazy. Okay. No, because it's crazy how quickly the timeline has progressed. Because it feels like months ago, but I think it was like within a month, pretty much.
If you told me that happened in January, I believe you. It feels
exactly.
So
I get you. Yeah.
But for his birthday, Kyle Gass made a joke where he's like, "quote Don't miss Trump next time," which. Where you find it funny or not is debatable legally. I can't comment on that because we're on a podcast here. But basically, Jack Black after that joke was basically like, all plans for the band are on hold. And it's funny, both of that joke and Jack Black's reaction to that joke, I think, were both controversial for different reasons. Like, one audience was obviously not happy with that joke. I think a whole different audience was really unhappy with the decision to like. In public's eyes, screw over a longtime friend over a joke that you were laughing at on stage, and like on his birthday of all things, and then to go then play a role in the Minecraft and Borderlands movies and do all this stuff, and then leave your bandmate like out to dry. Basically, a lot of people like weren't happy with Jack Black for that decision.
Okay.
So I think the statement saying, "Hey, the band will return," is a kind of a little bit meant to do some like damage control on it feels like about that, and say like, hey, the band is not over, X, Y, and Z. And I honestly too, I imagine that decision step away was probably like a marketing decision, since Jack Black himself was in so much like children's media. Like he's set up he's in the Mario movie. He's in the he thinks he's set up to air in the Minecraft movie. He was just in the apparently really bad Borderlands movie. So I imagine there's this matter of like his team saying like, "Hey man, you gotta disavow this, otherwise like these deals are in jeopardy." Which if that's the case, that makes sense to me. But like otherwise, it's kind of an unfortunate route to take with your career when like you've been working with your friends for that long. But so apparently, they should see the band will come back at some point, according to Jack Black. So we'll have to see if that holds true.
All right, I get it. Like it must be difficult. Because like you said, like there are brand deals in jeopardy, and there's to put it bluntly, there's a lot of money on the table. So you know he's in a position where he really does have to disavow it, whether he wants to or not, because you don't want these deals to fall through. Then lots of people are going to be looking at you like, you might have agents and people on your team who might not eat, or I don't want to be that dramatic, but who might suffer if you don't disavow that statement.
You don't want to lose out on like Nintendo money, for instance.
Exactly.
Mario too.
Mario money. I didn't realize the Minecraft movie actually, but like, I enjoyed the Mario movie, so I'm open to a Minecraft movie, and Jack Black did a great job in the Mario movie, so I'm definitely here for that.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so we'll jump into my news, and so first off, let's start by saying happy birthday to hip hop. We are recording on August 11th, and hip hop, was basically what's the word I want to say? Embedded into our timeline on August 11th, 1973, where a cool DJ Herc threw the first hip hop party, back on 1520 Sedgwick Boulevard in New York. So shout out, happy birthday. Thank you for laying that foundation that we're all kind of eating off at this day and stage. So congrats and thank you. And, just want to pay homage to hip hop by celebrating it here on the podcast, which ties into the next portion of my news segment is that, just this weekend, another historic event took place. Breakdancing was, in the Olympics. And so, shout outs to the gold medalists, the bronze medalists, the silver medalists. But the person that took the big L was a breakdancer by the name of Ray Gunn. And she was an Australian representative or whatever. And I guess she is a dance instructor and dance teacher in her country of Australia, and she went into this competition as a B girl. Well, I don't have to tell you because it's all over the internet. It's all over YouTube. She was basically. It almost felt like she was mimicking hip hop, and so it's sad that she. I mean, I guess her talents and skills got her so far, but once you see how she performed against real B girls and B boys, it was kind of sad. But it's all over the internet. I'm sure you're gonna get a laugh when you watch it because I mean she's literally jumping around like a kangaroo. She's it's almost like a dog stretching on the lawn at some points. So it's pretty bad. But more importantly, the fact that hip hop breakdancing made it to Olympics is more important than Ray Gun. But man, you talking about something that is just kind of left a scar on the presentation of hip hop or breakdancing. Definitely something you got to see. So
I heard about that. I didn't watch. I haven't seen the videos, but I did definitely hear about that. And I thought people were exaggerating when I heard about it. I didn't think it'd be that bad. But based on what you're saying, I'm gonna have to go check it out.
I saw the memes on the internet come across yesterday, and I just thought it was just a joke. I thought honestly, I didn't know that was the real competition. I thought someone just made a really good parody. It was like I thought it was like SNL, or something like that. And then when I actually saw the actual footage, it was like no, she was actually a contestant or a participant of the Olympics. It was just like damn, like how did we miss that? She got 0 points on her performance. It was like I said, it was to me. I felt like it was a slap in the face to all the other people, and not that she wasn't dancing. I mean, it was just her form of dancing, and that's the way she. I think that's the way she worded it, because I think someone did interview, and she was just saying that was her form of displaying art. So, it's kind of hard when you put art out there like that, and you're saying this is my interpretation of something. It's kind of hard to judge them on that, but compared to all the other participants, there's a big difference.
I mean, as a professional artist, etc. It's not like she was performing that art for herself necessarily, right? It wasn't a competitive stage specifically, and I kind of I don't know like how she got picked because if she got picked over other people, I assume she did not do those dance moves in those stages. Right. But I don't know for sure. But if that's the case, like
So,
extra sucks that she then like had the skills to actually like perform breakdancing as like we all understand it, and then got to the stage and then did that instead. So yeah,
she was
that's it.
considered a. Sorry, go ahead.
That was it. What's up?
I was going to say she was considered a top ranked B girl in the Australia Breaking Association in 2020 and 2021, and she won the Oceania Breaking Championship in 2023. So,
Wow.
I mean, she does have something to back it up, but the performance at the Olympics just didn't demonstrate that.
Yeah,
All right. Well, that makes me feel like it's funny, but damn, that's unfortunate. Then she
yeah.
won some things. There's she has some credit, and when it came time to show it,
She thought she felt like she was going to try to be silly. You know, it's what it feels like.
oh
And then,
man.
well,
Maybe she just felt she was out of her league and just decided, like, you know what, why even bother? I don't know. But it definitely, if you're watching this, you're definitely going to see a clip of this somewhere. So you'll catch
yeah.
it.
All right, all right.
All
I
right.
think that concludes our news for the week, and then we'll hop into singles. Jeremiah, I'm calling you out. What's your single for the week?
My single for the week. My
I
first
forgot
single for
about
the
that.
week. Yeah.
I mean, we named after Jeremiah. We got to give him his props. So
Jeremiah, hit us with,
My
with your real single seconds.
My single second for this week is it's a little bit of a cop out, but it's still a great song. It is "Good Luck, Babe," but not by Chappell Roan, excuse me, but by Vitamin String Quartet, a band who does violin string covers of popular songs. And I've been doing so since I was a teenager. So they take popular songs. They did like Uptown Funk. They did like Hotline Bling, and they do like violin covers of them, and they just released their violin cover of "Good Luck, Babe," and I thought it was one of their better covers, just because I think they really managed to distill what's so good about that track and translate it into the string instrument really well. So yeah, go check it out.
nice,
Very dope.
John, or yeah, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'm thinking about Jeremiah's single because
You're thinking,
I'm thinking
what was
I'm taking your single because it's a cover of an artist who's coming up and who's super hot, but the artist doesn't have a single out, so there's no real opportunity to do a single second for them. So that's why it just had me thinking about it. That's all.
got you?
Go check out Chapel Roan. Anyways, yeah, I'll go ahead and jump
No,
into.
okay. Wait a second. Let's go check out Chapter One for sure. The Vitamin String Quartet's been putting in work like consistently for like a decade or so now. So like, go check out them as well. Like,
Go check out both artists. Go check out every artist in the world.
okay, all right, John.
There
What
you
you got?
go.
Well, my artist, you don't need to go check him out because you probably are already listening to him. I'm talking about Drake today. The first track off of Drake's, I guess I'm gonna call it a 3-track EP because I'm gonna give Drake more credit than he deserves. It's Up by Drake featuring Young Thug and 21 Savage. The first song out of the 3 tracks that were released over I guess the week. This is a banger. This is what Drake back in his zone. This is the Drake everyone was looking for. I don't think that this is Drake trying his hardest. I don't think this is Drake trying to necessarily come back, but this is definitely a throwaway from Drake, but it's a damn good throwaway. You got Young Thug on the hook, and Young Thug is killing the hook. Young Thug is talking about how he don't care about his ops, and that's the exact energy that Drake needs right now. Drake's not worried about his ops. You got 21 Savage on his verse talking about how all his ops suck. They're out here. Their ad lib for the song is just the word idiots. So I think he's calling Kendrick Lamar an idiot. I don't know why, but that is the ad lib for the song. It's at least a 9 out of 10. Definite banger. Drake is back. Drake is, back in the zone. There were 2 other songs on the EP. I'll go ahead and just, give a shout out to those 2 as well. They're not bad at all. They're not necessarily my style, but Lotto has a verse. I think it's on the track called, let me get the name right on this one. I have it pulled up because I was listening to this over Vultures. Housekeeping Knows. Lotto's on that one. She does a really good job. And then Blue, Green, Red, the other track, it's more of a dance track. And I've never been a fan of Drake's dance tracks, but this is probably the best Drake dance track he's put out yet. So these are 3 songs from Drake that are ultimately very hot. This is what he needed to bounce back and give himself a little bit of positioning. I definitely think we need a I definitely still think he needs to release something, seriously, like a single that with like the the album cover and something that isn't just like a throwaway like this. But this is definitely a step in the right direction for Drake. That's what he needed right now. So once again, Drake is moving back into the culture's good graces for whoever liked him to begin with.
Hey Jeremiah, you ever seen Transformers?
All right, okay. I think you're maybe jumping.
I just saw John transform right in front of us from a Kendrick fan to a Stan fan.
No kidding.
But anyway,
you guys gotta respect Drake's name.
No, we don't. That's not true.
We do.
No, we don't, buddy. You're as the kids say, you're huffing the copium, man. Go back to the culture's good graces. There's no way. There's no.
Hey, I'm gonna just tell you what Drake said.
No.
I'm gonna tell you what Drake said. I don't care about my ops. I don't care. I don't even gotta care. I don't gotta care that you're hating. I just don't care. I just do not care.
It's not me hating. The culture has made its decision on Drake very well known. It's what they ignore.
Savage made it very clear. They don't care. We don't care. We don't care.
A few catchy singles to get back into the culture's good graces. Especially after Kendrick drops his new album in a couple of weeks and shows us again and again who the real king of hip hop is.
You're saying a lot of words. Don't care. Don't care about my ops. Just don't care. Not even worried about Drake. Not even worried about Kendrick's release date. Just don't care. Not worried about my ops.
You're right, because Drake has the release date. You're right.
He doesn't need one. He's gonna drop, and we're all gonna listen anyways.
We're all gonna listen. Okay.
Yeah, you know why you're gonna listen? Because we're gonna review it. So you're gonna listen. You're gonna listen.
We're gonna be like, man, we're gonna have to slog through another Drake feature where he's like, "I'm so lonely. All the women are."
I only had.
Go ahead, Father.
I just had one question. Sure. Did he write his own lyrics? That's all I want to know.
I'm for his sake, I'm gonna hope so. But I'm gonna go back to his earlier quote. I don't care about my. I don't care. From now on, whenever someone disses Drake, I'm gonna just go back. Hey, he said he doesn't care. So if he doesn't care, it's fine. It's a good 3 tracks. They're good. I can't sit here and lie and say they're bad. After what we listened to for an album today, it's like the best thing ever. So.
Honestly, I think we should have done Single Seconds last today, just so we end on some good tracks.
something exciting. Yeah. Woo, today's album was a tough one. But yeah, there you go. Drake's back. Go ahead, Father.
All right. So my single for the week is a track called Malecon by a rapper named Emilio Rojas from New York. Kid was born in '84. He's been featured on a whole bunch of different singles and projects. Most recently, he was working with Dave East. Dave East is actually featured on this single, and it's just a song that really talks about basically a restaurant in New York called the Malecon, and it's like a social hangout. It's like kind of like that vibe where Drake was. What was that whatever that Asian restaurant in Toronto where it's like the known spot.
Yes.
Yeah, that you can't go to anymore. Yeah,
you can still go there. It's not.
Yeah,
I get confused.
You can still go there. It's still a cool spot to hang out. So this is going to be the spot in, like I said, Upper West Side of New York, and it's called the Malecon. And the song is dope, though. More importantly, the song has a nice vibe to it. Has a really nice subtle horn that flows through it and showcases his skills and Dave East, who already is out there and has made a name for himself. And the album is actually pretty good. I have a couple of tracks that I added to my playlist from this album. So, if you give it a chance, when you hear something that's not going to be on Billboard's 100 and underground and sounds good, go check it out. And it's the Malecon by Emilio Rojas featuring Dave East.
Thank you, Father. And I agree. Definitely check out more underground music and music that's not going to be streaming on charting all the time. I think it's worth it. I think it's
because as we all know, just because it charts don't mean it's good.
I know it doesn't mean good, and you know what? I'll say, looking at you too, Drake. Just because it's charting doesn't mean it's good.
And what a perfect segue into our album of the week this week.
We're going to be talking about a very, I guess, anticipated album. An album that was anticipated by people. Today we're talking about Vultures 2 by Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign. I don't know how this came together. You know, I think about this sometimes at night, how these two came together and decided to do 3 albums together. Like, I don't know what in the universe put them in the same vicinity. But Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign have dropped Vultures 2. I didn't think it was going to be out. I thought it'd be delayed. We're here. It's here. You listen to it. Now it's time to talk about it. So, initial thoughts. Anyone want to throw a thought out there about this album? Because
I thought the album was amazing.
Okay, now give me your honest opinions. Actually,
I thought the album was amazingly different than what I was expecting.
I like that.
So my initial thoughts are, like, I appreciate the production. I felt that it was better than Vultures 1. There are 1 to 2 songs that definitely stand out as far as production, but unfortunately, it's kind of like the lyrics went left and the beats went right. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. I mean, it's Kanye's production. You can definitely tell, and compared to some other things that are out there, the production is still solid. Like, if this was like an instrumental album and you were pitching it to artists or rappers to jump on it, I'm sure you'd come up with some bangers. But with the content that's on there, the lyrics that are on there, and the features and all the other stuff, it just kind of feels like damn, man, like, this is such a waste of good beats in my mind. That's how I felt about it. Like, it's just the lyrics and the content of what they're talking about. It's redundant, it's repetitive, it's confusing, it's like I'll just jump straight to my highlight. My highlight is 530. I think it reminds me of old Kanye, reminds me of either Late Registration or even College Dropout, but the song is too damn long. If it was just 2 minutes and a dope verse, I'd be like, that's it. But instead, it goes on for in my opinion, way too long. I think he gets sidetracked. The subject matter is confusing. Is he talking about Kim? Is he not? This, that. I mean, this is like just things that we already know exist. And I know Kanye's, I don't know what number album this is, but it'd be nice if just different topics with a concise message in it. I don't know. Maybe I'm asking for too much, but it'd be nice to talk about something completely different, off topic, with a direct line in sight of what the message is. So
there's no message here that I could gather from my listen of the album. No coherent message, at least. I feel like when I listen to this, and when you talk about Father, like 530 reminds you of old Kanye, it distinctly highlights to me that we have an artist who has gotten worse as they continue to put out albums, kind of like Eminem. But I feel like I don't see Eminem catching a stray.
I just
what a stray! Yeah,
Eminem. Yeah, I mean, sorry, Eminem, but I defended your last album, so I can say it. Yeah, but like, but the thing is, what I was gonna say was, at least with Eminem, I feel like Eminem knows what he does, and he's putting out. Eminem, who's got worse because he has to struggle with a subject matter at this point in his career. I think he found a good place for his last album. I don't see Kanye West, like the same way when I was saying like Eminem has probably one more great album in him. I don't think Kanye West has one more great album in him. I no longer have faith that Kanye West will come back and drop an album that I actually like. I feel like Kanye West is so far removed from Late Registration, College Dropout, even My Beautiful Dark Fantasy. I think he's so far removed from that when he drops, I no longer even have the same level of excitement as I did for like Life of Pablo. I think it's kind of interesting because like a week or two before this came out, Kanye was saying that he was retiring from professional music, and I wish he would have. I wish he would have just stopped. This album doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't help the Kanye discography. There is nothing on this album that is going to make me come back. Sure, there were songs that were fine, but nothing special. I'm a big hater of this album. someone start saying something because I'm gonna keep talking shit about the album. But keep going. Like there's just I'm just gonna keep roasting it and I keep going. Like I really struggle to find anything positive to say about this album, especially given the artist who put it out.
Well, the album is charting. I mean that's not charting great, but I would say for and we've seen the numbers decline, right? From we were talking about that earlier before we went live about how the numbers have declined over the last couple of releases. But at the same time, I think it's still people still want to listen. They still want to, give it a spin to see, hoping for something that's gonna make them go like, "Damn, that's amazing." But like on Vultures One, Carnival, the song, that Carnival song is like a worldwide hit. You know what I mean? So it's. I know we collectively may not find it sonically appealing or whatever, but I still think that there's an audience out there that just love Kanye and can't wait for him to drop Vultures 3.
I'm happy to be a hater about Carnival. I don't think Carnival, like, yeah, it had its moment. It was hot for the 2 weeks. It was hot, but I don't think like for example, let me give you an example. All Falls Down. I can listen to All Falls Down, once a week for the rest of my life, and I'll enjoy it every time. I don't think people are going to be enjoying Carnival a year from now. I think a year from now, people are going to have forgotten that Carnival was a thing. I think Carnival was probably the least impressive hot Kanye West song I've ever heard. I think it's just like sure, it had its moment. Lots of songs have their moment, but I don't think Carnival will stand the test of time in any capacity. And I think that's how I feel about all of Kanye's music recently.
Are you upset because Kanye dissed Drake in 530? I mean, I feel like there's a bit of animosity just exuberating from you right now.
I just think I am so disappointed in Kanye West as an artist. I'm disappointed to see an artist who could have continued to go forward, continue to go back. Like this album sounds like something I could have expected from an up and coming SoundCloud artist who's trying to get his foot in the door and is, trying to push some new sounds and, is experimenting. This isn't something I expect from someone who's been making music for essentially 20 plus years. Is supposed to be a master at their craft. You have Ty Dolla $ign, who has a great vocals who you can work with to create a high quality project. And instead, we get this half baked project. I think that's the nicest way I could put it. And I'm very disappointed. And I feel like I just don't like Kanye anymore. Like I feel like it's just he's lost me as a fan, and I feel like I don't see him doing anything that's going to win me back. Like I am ready to stop checking for Kanye releases. I wouldn't have listened to this album if we weren't reviewing it. I wouldn't have even known that he dissed Drake if we hadn't listened to it, if someone hadn't told me. Because I would never listen to it. And that's just how I feel about Kanye at this point. Like I feel like there's no more appeal. And sure, I sound like a hater, but Jeremiah, what are your thoughts?
Oh, right. Shit's ass.
Thank you. I was gonna call it something. I was gonna say something like that, but I was like, nah, let me keep it a little bit nicer. Thank you.
No. I was kind of letting y'all talk first because I similarly have nothing nice to say about this album. But that's in part because Kanye himself has over the past couple of years just said some really heinous shit about different people, about different movements, about like truly between being anti-Semitic, somehow being racist, somehow being like fatphobic, and just like a misogynistic. He's just been like truly been doing a lot of just really vile speaking last couple of years. So like my interest in hearing music was already just kind of out the door, and so I was always going to view this album through a certain lens of like. I wasn't always going to hate it, but like I was listening to it not for the show, and I think the music here, it's something I would expect from him to make. If that makes sense. Like it's unfocused, it's mean spirited in some parts. It's like the things aren't the different like we said the lyrics and the beats don't mesh well together. There are like songs where like full verses just repeat, for no apparent reason. And it just it feels like a disjointed project from someone. I don't think this is true. What it feels like is it feels like a project for someone who does not want to be like making this kind of art anymore. And if that's the case, man, it's like you don't have to stop doing it, right? Yeah, I just truly don't have. I used to have a lot of like great because I grew up, like you said, like loving Kanye's like work all the way from Dropout, Registration, Fantasy, etc. And just
Everyone
seeing the
forgets
kind of
Heartbreak.
Yeah, and Italy Heartbreak, which I know people like, um, and just seeing kind of like this like downward spiral, both of his public character and of his music quality has been really like frustrating to witness. And I think Vultures too is like the nadir of quality of the Kanye works that I have listened to. Like, there's not a Kanye project that I would rate lower than this, and I think after this album, I would not be shocked if Vultures 3 had a really hard time charting.
I can see that. I actually could see that too. It's pretty bad.
But you know what? You know who's innocent? You know who's youthful and full of energy and on this album? Northwest. Northwest is on this album. And you know what? She's like 12. I'm not gonna TikTok here. She's out here like spitting her little heart out. And you know what? Power to you, Northwest.
Power to her. Power to Northwest. Yeah, power to Northwest.
I think it's two kids. I think it's Northwest and hold on. I have it here. I wrote it down.
Saint.
It was Northwest and
I'm gonna take a guess to say Saint, but I don't know.
And Chicago. It was North and Chicago.
That's Chicago.
So they're both on there.
Yeah, it was definitely a song.
There you go.
It was definitely a song, and you know, as a former 12-year-old, I support the youth getting out there, spitting some bars, getting that experience. Because who knows? In 10 years, might be out here like, you know what? Northwest really went hard on that beat. Who was it? Like Willow Smith was out here like making great tracks, in her youth, and now to this day she's making they're making really great hits.
Jeremiah, we joked. We had joked about doing a tier list for songs where rappers have their kids on it. Where do you think Bomb would? How good do you think Bomb would do on the tier list?
Oh, I think unfortunately Bomb's pretty low, and that's not. And again, I'm not like I support kids getting out there expressing themselves, doing their thing, so I'm all for it, right? I think in that sense, best song on the album, but I
like that actually. I can get behind that take.
But I think compared to like I don't know songs with Haley Mathers on them. Even songs with in the Band in the Stone World.
I really like that song. I listen to it a lot. So.
Yeah. Can You Feel Me is in my head kind of on.
Can You Feel Me is a really good. Wait, I don't want to go. I really don't want to say child artist. You know, that's not what we're here to do.
What I can compare is the construction of the songs, and I feel like this song's like the construction of Bomb does not match the childlike tone and kind of like playfulness that they bring to it almost. Plus, also the name of the song doesn't really fit with.
Yeah, right. Bomb.
Like when I saw Bomb, I was expecting a full different song than Watashi wa Northwest does. You know.
No, I'm completely with you. Overall, I feel like when I listen to this, I want to find things that I like. So like, I thought Lifestyle was okay, but like I won't go back to it. Like I enjoyed it for what it was, but it's nothing better than just a moment for me. But then there are other songs that like I feel like could have been good, but because there wasn't enough, I don't want to say effort. I always feel like it's kind of fucked up to say an artist didn't put enough effort into something because I don't know how long.
Like we don't know the effort they put in.
I don't know that, right? But when I listen to something like Fried, dude, I tried to like Fried. I feel like Fried is supposed to be a moment. It is supposed to be a moment on an album that brings that energy, that gets you hyped. That's like, I'm fried. I know what Kanye is trying to do. It's not something that's impossible. I know what he's trying to do, but he just does it all wrong. It feels like I just feel like the construction isn't there. It actually sounds annoying whenever I hear him go, I'm fried. Like I thought I could like the song on first listen, and then I listened to it more and more, and I'm like, yo, this sucks. That's how I feel, and more and more, like, because as we do these reviews, I didn't want to just listen to this once. The same way with like how I listened to Epic last week. I wanted to hear these songs multiple times and like really determine what I liked and didn't like.
Yeah.
And I listened. And the more I listened to this album, the more I didn't like it. Like I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I listened to this album and I was like, my blood pressure started going. I was like, man, this sucks. Like this really sucks. Like I really don't like this.
Not the first album to be like physically bad for your health.
Like literally, I was this album. I would listen to this album and I'd be like, I listened to it one way through, like I do. And every single time I tried to play it through from beginning to end. After that, I'd be like 2-3 tracks in, and I'd be like, I gotta change this. I just can't do it. Like I just could not do it. I could not listen to this album all the way through more than once. It was just like driving me crazy. So I really don't like this album. I don't know. This album just kind of like my rating is gonna be very harsh.
Yeah, I agree with what Father said. I feel like there are definitely some beats on this album that feel, unfortunately, that they were not well utilized by the artists that are using them. Like I think there are like, for instance, I think the beat, for instance, the production on "Time Moving Slow" is actually really good, and I think sounds really good, but it's not used very well, unfortunately. Like, no. I think if you give that same beat, that same track to like Gambino, to Kendrick, to Lupe, to 2 Chainz, even I feel like they could put out a hit more satisfying than when we actually got.
About 2 Chainz, bro. 2 Chainz states coming up. I feel like.
I mean, yeah. By the way, speaking of last week's episode, we started the new Vinyl Thoughts game. Who would diss Drake this week? See if we can get a streak going. Talking about someone who dissed Drake. And this week, I will say, Kanye West gets us there by dissing Drake at 5:30.
Hold on, but totally fair. Kanye West was last week's diss to Drake too. That's how we started. No. Last week was Mustard. Last week was Mustard. Last week was Mustard, just randomly taking a shot at Drake.
Wait. You guys did a musical last week. Nobody from the musical dissed Drake.
No. But when we did the news last week,
wait. Stop. Father, did you not watch the episode we made? You're too here.
I was referring to the musical, not the single second.
Did you watch the news segment?
Absolutely.
What happened? Give me a recap. What happened in the news segment? Who dissed Drake in the news segment? Someone dissed Drake in the news segment.
Mustard.
What'd he say?
Yeah, what'd he say?
What was his problem?
Mustard was okay. All right. So Mustard was upset because of the sales. Jeremiah even used a news clip to illustrate what he said. He like something about niggas. I don't know exactly word, but he used the word niggas. He did. And he used a clip to illustrate exactly what he did. So
what was the graphic I made to illustrate what Mustard said? Because it was a pretty notable comparison. He said. We spent 40 minutes talking about it.
I remember the clip of like you actually like showed the quote of exactly what he said, because he was upset that he only had $18,000 sales, and that he almost said that it was like, did he say Nazi?
No. You're getting there. You're getting there.
Okay.
You're getting there. You're getting close.
He said that album sales were from white supremacy. Which is, I think it's like, but he also said, I'm alluding to, that Drake is the Malcolm X of white people, and that was
he did,
and that was the funniest thing ever. Because the more you break it down, the more it doesn't make sense. What does he mean by that?
Yes, and then Jonathan, you went on to say that actually helped him more than it hurt him. So,
if I was mad at somebody, my first thing is, let me compare them to a civil rights activist. Like what? That just doesn't make sense. Drake needed that. Drake needed that. Like that's what Drake needs right now. Someone to compare him to a civil rights activist.
I mean, hey, never mind. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on what I was going to say. So anyway, I did watch. So to confirm, I did watch it.
In fact, last week someone did in fact diss Drake on this channel on the show that we all do.
On the show.
Yeah, and
Mustard.
Yes, and this week someone else dissed Drake, Mr. West.
Mr. West.
Okay.
And next week
we're going to do Hatsune Miku, and we're gonna to track 3, and she's gonna be like, "Yeah, fuck Drake." I'm not one to even like Drake, as we all know, but like,
yes,
I also just feel like the point of 530 is like very, what's the word? It's not cynical, but it feels very like, what's a different word for like a sore loser almost? And that's kind of what 530 feels like to me. Like I can't think of the
bitter
word.
I don't know, bitter.
I guess bitter, yeah.
Yeah, bitter is a good word.
I think Kanye sounds, unfortunately, bitter in a lot of music he makes nowadays.
Yeah, that's true. Crotchety, almost.
Yeah. So yeah.
So
go ahead.
I was just gonna say. So, what do you guys think? What do we score this album out of 5 stars?
What's the lowest we could possibly give an album?
Like -5.
A -5 stars, buddy.
I mean, hey, the breakdancer from Australia got 0 points, and she was in the fucking Olympics. So, how you really feel about?
I'm gonna be real with you guys. I want to say 0, but I don't know if I'm just being biased because I am so just like everything about Kanye West's energy is just like I hate it at this point. Like, it's just go ahead.
I love you, my brother, right?
Yeah, sure.
The thought of anything happening to you, like, fills me with dread. So this album raising your blood pressure. The thought of this album raising your blood pressure means that it was a worse than a net zero experience. It was in fact a net negative experience. Because I think zero would be like if it was ultimately forgettable, like basically we're better off putting out nothing, right? Which I think is kind of rare. But in this case, the album was so bad it like hurt us to listen to it. That's good. That's at least a -2.
I've never gotten mad while listening to an album, and then I put this on, and I was just like, I was doing laundry and I was seething. I was like, why do I have to listen to Vultures too? Why can't I just go back to listening to Stone World, Bandit on the Stone World, or anything else? Like, why do I have to listen to this? So yeah, this was probably the most unenjoyable week I've had listening to music in a long time.
Yeah, like
all right, so
I'm taking a star away from Edward Heartbreak. That's kind of what I'm doing.
You know what? Thank you, man. 0, easy 0 for me.
All right, I guess I'm gonna have to be the positive guy because out of all the things we listen to, I can't say I hate it that as much as you guys do. You guys sound like you're ready to just take it out to the field and just shoot it 2 times and bury it real quick.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Like I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Burying it? Let's not get crazy here. I think.
Damn.
More of a tie anchor to it and push it off the bridge kind of energy.
Man, you see what I'm up against? I'll give it a 1 just because I did like 530 and I did like I think Sky's the Limit or something. I did Sky City. Sorry, I did like that song, and like I said, the production. I think the production is solid. It's not like I think the beats suck. I just think the content over the beats is what really brings this album down. So, production wise, I mean, I think I like some of the production. I think if it was a different artist on the beats, I'd probably enjoy it more. If 530 was 2 minutes versus 5 minutes, I'd like it a lot more. If I didn't feel that the difference between the energy that North and Chicago brought to the album versus all the disparaging and just downright, I would say, what's the word I'm looking for? Negative things that Kanye talks about. I think the album would be better, but at the end of the day, I would at least, did I say 1 or 2? What did I give it, a 1? At least a 1?
Either one.
Yeah, at least a 1. I mean, that's as low as I don't say it's a 0 because I don't think it's that bad. You guys have your opinions, but I'm gonna give it a 1.
So I think between the 0, the -2, and the 2, the final score is a 0.
You're sticking with a -2.
I'm for sure. And to be clear, I'm not gonna give out a negative score maybe ever again. But it's the combination of Kanye's like artistic persona, the album being bad, and everything, like just everything.
I agree with you though.
Kind of
I agree
together.
with you. I think this is like the perfect storm of everything being terrible, where a 0 just feels right.
Yeah. So
All
final
right.
score officially of the Final Thoughts Crossfitter podcast is a
It's
0
a
out of
0
5.
out of 5. I like that. We have a collective, as a collective group, we're giving it a 0 out of 5.
Hey, I tried. I mean, I can't say I didn't
You
try,
tried.
but
You tried. Hey, you know what? Hey, maybe just listen to it at home, and you'll think, hey, we're sleeping on this song, and if so, let us know. End the season, we'll do an season wrap up, and revisit it, and maybe you'll change our minds. I doubt it, but I'm open to it.
Yes. And yeah, if people think that we're crazy, end of season, I'll definitely spin through a couple songs again. But until then, I'm deleting this off my phone. I'm back at blocking albums and blocking.
Oh no! I'm blocking the album.
I'm done.
Okay, let's.
all right.
Quick tally. Is this the worst thing we've listened to on this show? I think we talked about it before
On the show?
off live, but on live. Would we say it's the worst thing we listened to on this show? Because I think you go first. Because I know we've kind of been just shitting on for the past 20 minutes.
For me, it's not the worst thing I listen to, and I don't think we need to rehash what I think the worst thing we listen to, but
sure.
I don't think it's the worst. I don't think it's the worst thing we listen to.
Okay. Brother?
It might be. I think so. I'm just for me, it's pretty clear. The only thing that I have that I maybe have lower than this is Super Goat. And the only reason why Super Goat is so low is because that first song is like just bad. It's physically, like this, but this whole album is physically painful. So you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna give this my worst album we listened to. I would never touch this album. You know that because when we listened to Super Goat, I did not hate it like I hated this.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give this worst album I listened to on the show.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't want to make a habit. You got negative scores. Does feel mean. Probably would do it to anybody else besides like if Donald J. Trump said, "Hey guys, here's my new album." Like that's maybe the only person that got here give a negative score to. But
oh my goodness,
this is a special occasion. And like truthfully, like I want to say, like truthfully, Kanye West is a big part of the reason why I grew up really liking hip hop and rap, and like really made me like believe in that art form and believe in kind of what it could do. So it is pretty disheartening to kind of see the trajectory from where he starts, where we are. So, I hope one day that he can kind of go to therapy, recover himself, come back from this kind of era, but. Until then, I think this is just kind of where I stay with his current body of work.
I hope he retires like he said he would.
Mm.
He said he was professionally retiring from music. And then he put this out. So I don't know. You should have just committed to it, honestly.
All right.
Go ahead.
With that being said, I think we're good to wrap up. I'm ready to go listen to All Falls Down. So, does anyone have any closing thoughts for us?
Father, you have any thoughts about this before we hop off?
Hey, like we always say, just because we have certain feelings about the album doesn't mean that you guys should, not listen to it. So we would encourage you to give each and every artist that we talked about on this show and every episode an opportunity to listen to it and formulate your own opinions. And like the one thing that we didn't say, and we say it a lot, is it takes a lot to create a body of work, whether it's sonically, artistically, physically, visually, whatever. And so, despite how much we dislike the album, it is a body of work, and I respect the artists for their contributions and what they put into it. So, and we encourage you guys to all, give the artist a chance. If you dislike it, hey, by all means, let us know that you agree with this. If you think it's an amazing album and should be inducted into the Library of Congress, please let us know as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, let us know if you think that, because I really want to understand.
Please let us know. That's your opinion. I'm taking the survey, actually. If you have the opinion, please let me know. But all right. Like we always say, thank you for joining us on the Vinyl Thoughts podcast. Go check out CrossFader LA. We got some new merch going up soon. Everything is, going up. It's all up from here. So thank you very much. Go get one of these hats. Go get one of Father's hats.
And if we're listening to us on the day that airs. Okay, what was your?
So if you're listening to, I was going to say if you're listening to this on Friday, which should be next week, we are going to be at the Manhattan Spicy Green Book pop-up event, which is at the Connecticut Bank on Rosecrans, and we'll be there from 10 to 4, in our first ever Crossfader pop-up event. So come check us out, show support. We'd appreciate it. We'll be there with our merchandise and just talking to the public. So hope to see you guys there.
Yeah, listen to the podcast. Let us know. Tell us your favorite episode, favorite album. We'd love to get out into you guys and kind of hear what you think.
I will be there. So come see me.
I'll be there.
I'll be there.
I'll be there in spirit.
All
right. Well, I think that's it for today. Thank you guys all for your time. Like we always say, peace.
Peace.
Please. Vinyl thoughts. There's no Vinyl Thoughts jingle, man.
Oh man. All right.